The disparity in the synagogue begins with understanding that a synagogue is not a place for social interaction. It's not a place for social cohesion, or even a place where somebody is supposed to inspire you. Prayer is called the work or the labor of the heart. To actually pray properly is very laborious. So the first thing Jewish law tries to do is weed out distractions. You can't pray in front of a window, you can't pray in front of a mirror, you can't pray in front of a painting, you can't pray in front of a photograph, and so on and so forth, right? So the mechitza is not there so much to separate men from women as it's there to separate man unto God. So there is the entry point of what you might say is disparity in many synagogues. Some of it has to do with pragmatics. Some of this has to do with sociology. So, for instance, in more modern synagogues, I think you have a situation where men and women are sitting side by side as opposed to the men in the front and the women in the back. That makes for a much more inclusive atmosphere. Okay? But when you have the men sitting in the front and then the men are reading from the Torah and the women can hardly hear the cantor or the Torah reading, there you have it. Then, the Mishnah says that a woman does not receive an aliyah. So there you have disparity. A woman does not count towards the minyan. We could talk about the reasons for this, but there's disparity all over the place. Unless we go back to the notion that a Jew comes to a synagogue to pray to God. So if we could keep our eye on that, then we could say, there are certain things men need to pray, possibly. Women might need other things, or might not need things done in the same way. But I have to say that when all is said and done, I personally think it's tragic and wrong and sinful to have a modern synagogue that creates an exclusionary energy towards women. There's no excuse for that. Women are coming to synagogues in numbers and should be able to participate as fully as possible according to Allah.